Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Living Beyond Limits and our Sunday service. You all know I'm Reverend Jennifer Spear, and I'm welcoming you. I'm so glad you came here to join us this morning. And now I'm going to invite you to join me in reading our mission statement. We are a sanctuary where people can discover and reveal the presence of God within their own being and experience their oneness with all life. Through the realization of this inner presence of love and peace, we give way to the evolutionary impulse of the divine and become a beneficial presence in the world. So that's what we're doing here, is we are creating this environment of love and support and care, and this environment where we get to be fed with those things that we sometimes forget when we're out moving around in the world. Like the fact that love lives within us all the time. Like the fact that peace is innate to our beingness. Like the fact that we are whole all of the time and powerful and wise and abundant. Those things are true of us because they're true of spirit. And we are an outpicturing of that infinite presence. So therefore, what is true of it in the macrocosm is true of us in the microcosm. And as you know, what that means then is when we move out into the world and the world is not being loving or generous or kind, we aren't as reliant on it to be that way in order for us to be that way. And so as we come to the world from that place of wholeness and power and love and abundance and all of that, we come to the world differently. We come more caring and kinder and with more compassion and more generosity. And as we do that, we influence all of those that are around us. And because we are connected and all part of this oneness of life, we actually affect the whole. So I say thank you to each one of you for downloading spirit and bringing your spirit and your light into this world in really a way that only you can. So thank you for that. Well, welcome to our fourth week of participation in the Season for Nonviolence as we look for ways to create greater peace within ourselves, greater peace within our relationships, and greater peace in the world at large. So I learned this week, actually, you probably don't know this, that the word February comes from the Latin word februa. And the word februa actually means cleanse. And so if we look at that February, meaning cleanse, metaphysically, then the month of February stands for cleansing or purification or purging ourselves of negativity. So that in turn then, when we purge that negativity, we are more open to the light and to the love and to the peace and the joy that is ever available for us. So when we do visioning on a regular basis here for Living Beyond Limits, what comes forward and then what we create out of that vision are some of these things. That we are a space here to step out of a chaotic world. That we are a place to find respite and a buoy in the storm. We are a place that is safe and nurturing to discover our spirit, to discover our wholeness, a place where we can come home to ourselves, that inner self, a place to reconnect with the divine within us and the divine that is everywhere present. Because what happens then is as we do that here, then we move out into the world more grounded and more loving, more peaceful, more compassionate, and more spirit-led, because we start listening within here instead of just to our heads. So during tumultuous times, a whole week of going without having a place that is a place of respite and a buoy in the stormy times, a place that's safe and warm and nurturing and loving, where we can feel peace. If that's only happens once a week, what do you do the other 6 days of the week? You know, as human beings, we need to be able to step out of the angst that's going on. We need to be able to step out of the strife and the anger and the fear that is all around us and oftentimes within us also. And if we don't step out of that, what happens, as you know, we end up feeling depleted. We end up feeling like there's nothing left inside of us. I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel like a deflated balloon with everything that's going on in the world. We need a place that's safe and nurturing, a place where we can rest, and a place where we can be restored. And I know that all of us want to experience peace. We want to have peace within ourselves, peace in our relationships, peace at our places of work, peace in this country, peace in this world. Pema Chodron said, practicing loving kindness towards ourselves seems as good a way to start, a good a way as any to start illuminating the darkness of difficult times. Practicing self-love, loving kindness towards ourselves. And so the title of this message today is Step 1. And what I'm talking about is when the world and our country are feeling tumultuous and chaotic, we are called to create a safe space to land within ourselves for ourselves. A place that is safe and restorative, a place where we can feel nurtured and revivified. For then, after we do that within ourselves, then we carry peace out into the world. And then when we carry peace into our world, we can create greater peace in all of the situations that we find ourselves in. An empty lantern provides no light. And what happens, I know, for many of us, instead of creating that soft place to land within ourselves, what happens instead is we create an environment within ourselves that is critical and judgmental, critical of ourselves and others, judgmental of other people and of ourselves. And we also create this inner environment that is filled with the trauma and drama of the world. We are critical of ourselves and others, and we give ourselves a hard time. We give ourselves a hard time for making mistakes. We give ourselves a hard time for not being perfect. The truth is, though, you are a work in progress. Always. For as long as you are on this planet, you will be a work in progress. Not perfect, but a work in progress. So I think then this thought that we have inside of ourselves, this need to be perfect, is an arbitrary belief and an arbitrary expectation and an arbitrary goal. It really is just the same thing as saying, I want to be an apple. You know you can't be an apple. It's very clear. It's just as arbitrary as that. It's impossible and it's unrealistic to think that you will be perfect. That's not what it is to be a human being. And when we do that to ourselves and expect ourselves to be perfect and give ourselves a hard time, and then fill our minds with all the stuff that the media is feeding to us, that is not creating a soft place to land within ourselves. That is not creating a space that is safe and warm and nurturing, which is exactly what we need in order to thrive. Sue Patton-Thiel in The Mindful Woman says, it is only in the safety, support, encouragement, and self-love that your soul can bloom as it was created to do. There's a story that says, On the slope of Long's Peak in Colorado lies the ruin of a gigantic tree. Naturalists tell us that it stood for some 400 years. It was a seedling when Columbus landed at San Salvador and half grown when the Pilgrims settled at Plymouth. During the course of its long life, it was struck by lightning 14 times. And the innumerable avalanches and storms of 4 centuries thundered past it. It survived them all. In the end, however, an army of beetles attacked the tree and leveled it to the ground. The insects ate their way through the bark and gradually destroyed the inner strength of the tree by their tiny but incessant attacks. A forest giant with age had not withered, nor lightning blasted, nor storm subdued, fell at last before beetles so small that a person could crush them between their forefinger and their thumb. There's a parallel story in this story which would serve as a warning to us. Most of us can survive times of crisis. We summon the strength of faith, or we resolve for most any battle that we face head on. Whether it's in our personal lives or our professional lives, we often overcome great obstacles. It is the small things, like hatred, anger, resentment, self-judgment, self-criticism, unforgiveness, and negativity that eat us from the inside, which often bring about our downfall. Unlike a giant tree, we can identify and fight these inner beetles, but we must remain constantly on guard. The tiny beetles, the tiny but incessant, giving ourselves a hard time, criticizing ourselves, thinking we need to be perfect, self-judgment. And the reason that we're critical of ourselves, the reason that we are judgmental of ourselves, is because we think that's going to create positive change inside of us. We think it's going to make us different. But the truth is, what it really does is makes us feel bad about ourselves. What it really does is makes us feel less than, not good enough. It diminishes our self-esteem. My favorite minister from Centers for Spiritual Living, Kathy Ann Lewis, said, "You don't make mistakes. Mistakes make you smarter, more self-reliant, more aware, wiser." Mistakes, our mistakes, grow us. They allow us to come more fully into who we really are. They help us live in greater alignment with our values, with what's important to us. They remind us, hey, what I just did isn't in alignment with my values. It's just a reminder that helps you be the fullness of who you really are, that helps you bring your best self to life and to be who it is that you want to be in the world. They're just nudges to remind you, hey, you're off here. They help us be who we want to be. Rachel Wolkin says, it's not how we make mistakes, but how we correct them that defines us. How we correct them defines us. And forgiving yourself is not a loophole that is a loophole to allow you to avoid admitting that you were wrong. It isn't letting you off the hook saying that nothing happened. It's not saying that whatever you did was okay. But it is letting you learn something. It's serving you So then you can move forward as someone different than the person was who made the mistake. So holding ourselves hostage in unforgiveness, in criticism, doesn't allow us to change and to become who it is we want to be. It keeps us stuck there identifying with what was rather than what can be and what we want to be. It doesn't allow us to change and become more. It doesn't allow us to feel safe and secure at home in ourselves so that we can thrive. So really then, forgiveness for ourselves is really about the insight that we can gain from it. So that's the goal then, is when you make a mistake, to look for the insight, to ask yourself, what did I learn here? And then to apply that to your life, to take that wisdom and move forward as a different you. So we are being called to silence that inner critic, to be kind and loving towards ourselves. There was a woman who believed she had to be hard on herself to survive. She thought kindness was something you earned after getting it right, after being better, calmer, stronger, more together. So when she struggled, she pushed herself harder. When she hurt, she told herself to move on. Anyone? It worked for a while until one day she found herself exhausted in a way that sleep couldn't fix. That was the day she stopped running and sat down right in the middle of her mess. No solutions, no speeches, just breath. And for the first time, instead of asking, what's wrong with me, she asked, what do I need right now? The question felt unfamiliar, almost dangerous. The answer was simple: gentleness. So she tried something new. When she made a mistake, she placed her hand on her chest instead of tightening her jaw. And when she felt overwhelmed, she allowed herself to pause without explaining. When shame showed up, she didn't argue with it. She just stayed. At first, nothing magical happened. Life didn't suddenly become easy. She still failed. She still felt afraid. But something quieter changed. She stopped abandoning herself. Over time, she noticed that compassion didn't make her weaker. It made her steadier. It didn't remove her edges. It softened the places that were bleeding. She learned that the voice she used with herself mattered more than any advice. That being held, especially by herself, was a kind of strength she'd never been taught. And slowly, almost without noticing, she became someone she could rest with. Not because she was perfect, but because she was gentle. She was compassionate with herself. She was caring towards herself. So some of the ways that we can create that soft place to land within ourselves then is to not expect ourselves to be perfect. To know that messing up simply means we're alive. To learn to laugh at ourselves when we make a mistake. You know, I've been on this path for a long time, and I remember in those early years doing therapy and taking classes at Centers for Spiritual Living, and I remember the first time I got on the freeway and I wanted to go south, and I got on the freeway going north on the 405, and I started laughing when I did it. Prior to that, I would have given myself a hard time. What is wrong with you? What were you thinking? Rat, 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 rat. It was the first time I laughed at myself. And today, I laugh at myself a lot when I make mistakes. I burst out laughing instead of giving myself a hard time. That's an option. So speak kindly to yourself as you would to a really good friend. Encourage yourself. Tell yourself you can do this instead of what's wrong with you. Instead of telling yourself that you're not good enough, tell yourself, I am enough. I'm enough. Write affirmations and put them around your house that support you and encourage you. Tell yourself, I love and approve of myself. Will you say that? I love and approve of myself. Tell yourself, I've got this. Will you say that? I've got this. I choose peace because I deserve peace. I choose peace because I deserve peace. And turn off the TV, and turn off your phone, and turn off your computer, and go outside. You know, I read a story recently, and it was a blog, and it was like back east, and it's freezing cold outside, and she was talking about, how much she complains in the wintertime, and she had decided that instead of complaining, she was going to start noticing all the things that she loved about winter. How quiet it is after it snows, and how beautiful it is when it's in the trees. And she said, and you know what she'd learned? To go outside. You will never, ever regret getting outside, even in the middle of winter. I go for walks, and I'm so grateful that I got outside. So get outside and spend time with friends and laugh and take time to rest and unplug from the world. Touch your spirit like you do when you're here. Read something that's inspiring. Meditate. Make art. Do something that allows you to touch inside here. And so I'd like to lead you in a meditation right now. And so I invite you to get comfortable in some position that feels easy for your body. And let yourself arrive without needing to change anything. And take a slow, deep breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Soft and unforced. And again, inhale, inviting ease, and exhale, letting go. And bring your attention to the center of your chest. Not to think, just to notice. You might feel warmth, tightness, openness, or nothing at all. Whatever is there is welcome. And place a hand over your heart if that feels comforting. And feel the gentle rise of your breath beneath your hand. In your mind, imagine a soft, warm glow beginning in your chest. It's not bright or intense, more like candlelight or sunlight through a window on a cold day. This warmth is kind. It doesn't rush. It doesn't ask anything of you. With each inhale, the glow grows a little stronger. And with each exhale, it spreads gently. This warmth carries a feeling of unconditional care. No judgment, no expectations, no need to be different than you are. Imagine this loving presence without words saying, "You are allowed to be here. You are enough." And notice how your body responds. Maybe your shoulders soften. Maybe your breath deepens. Maybe something loosens just a bit. And let that warm glow slowly expand beyond your chest. It moves into your shoulders, your arms, your hands, down into your belly, your hips, your legs. Everywhere it goes, it brings ease. If it meets tension, it doesn't push. It simply stays. Patient and kind until your body feels safe enough to soften. You're not forcing relaxation. You are allowing warmth. And now imagine this warmth forming a space around your heart, like being wrapped in a soft blanket from the inside. In this space, you are safe. You are cared for. You are not alone. Nothing needs to be fixed here. Nothing needs to be understood. Just rest. And if it feels right, silently repeat to yourself, "I am held in warmth and love." And before we leave this space, imagine gathering a small piece of this warmth, perhaps like a glowing stone, and place it somewhere inside you. Your heart, your belly, your hands. This warmth is always available. One gentle breath is enough to reconnect. And so I invite you just to begin to bring your awareness to the room around you, feeling the chair beneath you, and listen for any nearby sounds. And to take one final slow breath in and to exhale, carrying that warmth with you. And when you're ready to open your eyes. It's funny for me, in that meditation, the thing that really spoke to me was, now I just lost it, no expectations. I felt my body let go. And so my invitation for you this week is to create a soft landing space within yourself, for yourself. The world is hard right now. Create a soft landing place in here. Treat yourself with the same kindness you would a loved one, with your best friend, and be kind to others. Let go of your harsh criticism and your self-judgment and speak to yourself kindly. And forgive yourself for whatever it is that you do. Make it right if that's what needs to happen, and then learn from what happened. Unplug from the craziness of the world and the craziness of the media, and do something that makes you feel calm and at peace and safe. Make art, go for a walk, get out in nature, read something inspiring, and look for the good. Look for the good inside yourself first, and look for the good in your life, and look for the good in the world. There's a lot of good out there, and there's a lot of good in here. And as you do that, then you will be experiencing greater peace within yourself, so that when you move out into the world, you can take that peace with you and create greater peace around you. And so blessings to each and every single one of you as you walk this path of remembering who you are and bringing that forward into this world in a way that is a blessing to you and a blessing to everyone. Thank you. And so I invite you to join me as we turn our attention to the capital T truth. The truth that there is one power and one presence that is unchanging and eternal. That one presence, that one power that fills all of space and all of time with all that it is. For the fullness of the presence of Spirit is present at every single point. And therefore, I know that the peace that Spirit is right here. The love that Spirit is right here. The goodness that Spirit is right where we are, within us and around us, filling our lives, filling this world. And as we put our attention on that, we create room for it to grow and to expand and to flourish. I recognize that this presence is the very energy of peace and love and goodness, of compassion and kindness. Its nature is abundance of all good. Its nature is wholeness and order and harmony. And so today we recognize that this is the very energy that we walk in. Everywhere we go, we walk in this. And everywhere we go, we take it with us. And that presence right now is speaking itself and revealing itself and unfolding itself in our minds and through our words and our actions, in our hearts and through our hearts. For we are here on this planet being a beneficial presence. And it starts right here within ourselves. And so I know that love is the order of this day. And so we treat ourselves with gentleness and kindness and compassion so that we can be a greater presence of love in this world. For when we create this energy of love within, it just exudes from us and we share it everywhere we go. And so we lean into the love that we already are. And we allow it to expand. And we allow it to carry us and to motivate us and to buoy us and to speak through us. For we are our own soft place to land, right here, right now, and every moment. And so I speak this word also about every single person in this world, that the fullness of the presence of God, the divine, the infinite spirit, the creator of all things, the one and only, is right where they are. And that presence right now has not just the ability to meet every need, but its nature is to unfold and to pour itself out. So it is doing that right now. Where there is an opening, the fullness of the presence is expressing. And I speak this word also about every single politician and world leader and decision maker, knowing that the intelligence of spirit is revealing itself within each of them. That the love that spirit is revealing itself within their hearts. And that there is something within them that knows that oneness is the truth, that unity is what we come from, and that there is a new motivation happening that stems from and is born from love, from wholeness, from peace, from oneness. And so we just breathe into that and we lean into that and we hold this to be the truth. And so I release this prayer into that creative law of the universe that simply reflects it back as experience. The law says yes as we say yes. And so today we say yes. And we release this. And I invite you to join me in saying, and so it is. So I do have some invitations. One is February 22nd. We are having our annual meeting. I invite you all to be here that day and help us make plans for the next year about what we want to do for classes and outreach and inreach and all that kind of stuff, and vote on a budget, approve a budget for next year. We have, is there still, where's Barbara, a sign-up sheet in the back? Do you know if it got filled in for, if it's full? It's full for the soup salad? Okay, so people have signed up for that. So we're going to have a soup, salad, and bread before, and then we'll have our annual meeting afterwards. So it's the 22nd. You'll be back. Yes. So are you feeling like this is feeling like home and a place where you would like to explore your spirituality and be in the safe place that we've created here to do that? If this is feeling like that to you, we would love for you to become a member here. We are going to have a new member ceremony the same day that we have our annual meeting. And so I'm going to put together a little workshop that talks about membership and just kind of let you guys get to know each other. And it's just kind of a fun thing to do. I'm looking right now at Thursday, the 19th, if that works for you. So talk to me after service. There are membership forms in the back. If you haven't yet filled one out and would like to be a member, fill that out for me. Make sure that I have your email address and phone number on there. And then we'll get together and have a little workshop, and we'll have a new member ceremony. Just to know also, our Sunday talks are usually available online. Jonathan's been having computer issues, so they haven't been up the last 2 weeks, but he's going to make that change. We invite you to check in on Meetup and say that you're coming, to follow us on Facebook, to follow us on Instagram, to share the talks when they come out, so that we can build our community. And we have prayer support after church, and we have prayer shawls if that is of interest to you. So I invite you to repeat after me. Good fills my life now.
Good fills my life now.
I recognize it. I savor it. I love it. And I live it. And so it is.